So, Dave, we're here at the CCA workbench.
Yes, sir.
First of 26 consecutive weeks.
Yeah, man. I got to come up with 26 things to pass on.
I know.
I can do it.
I know you can. Hey, not a better guy for the job, but you know what, Dave?
Well,
what's this magic dangler?
We're the magic dangler. It's called the Tokyo rig. And you know, when we're out bass fishing, it's a good idea to try to fish where other guys can't. Yeah. You know, because you know on the lakes they're getting hammered by a lot of people all the time, and if everybody's doing the same thing, the bass get used to that and get to see it, and you know, you're not going to get bites a lot of times. But if you can get into places where the fish aren't seeing a lot of stuff, you know, they're not getting pounded all the time, they'll bite just about anything sometimes.
Right.
So it's very important to get into those places where other guys can't. You know, and I heard that a long time ago from a big trout fisherman. I said, "Where are you catching all those great big trout?" And he goes, "Well, I fish where other guys don't fish." You know, and that's true. You know, you catch those big fish where other guys don't. And you know, this is a normal punching jig, you know, with a creature bait on it, and that's normally the kind of thing that you use to when you're in a big bunch of hydrilla or real thick lily pads with weeds under them and stuff, and you want to punch down through all that vegetation and get down to where the fish are, you got to use a big bait and usually a big heavy jig head, and it punches through. That's why I call it punching. It punches through all that vegetation and gets down there, and the bass can eat it. Unfortunately, you've got a big weight up here on the front of the head in front of the hook, you know, and a lot of times you'll end up getting that hook in the way, and you won't get a bite. I mean, you'll get the bite, but you won't get the hook set.
Right.
You got a lot of stuff in between. You know, you got weed guards that you have to worry about because you know you can't really rig that weedless. It's you know relatively weedless, but not
this changes.
great.
This can be a frog. This can be a skunk ape. This can be
whatever you want to put on there. Yeah, exactly. And it's usually a dark color, you know, to get down there in the darkness. I like the blue logger toads and stuff. Well, what this is the Tokyo rig, and again, I don't know why it's called the Tokyo rig unless some fell over in Tokyo invented it, which may well have been. But what it consists of is a regular worm hook, a little swivel, and a dropper, a little down dropper. It's got a little swivel on the top of it as well. And what that does is it allows you to put a weight on that dropper rig, and you can put one weight or two weights.
Yeah, like you have this one here.
That one's got two weights on it.
Got it.
And what this does is that dropper, it keeps the weights and everything away from the hook. So when that gets down to the bottom and bounces on the bottom, the bait is suspended above it because the plastic wants to float.
It's safe to say, wouldn't you, Dave, that it's going to go down like this?
Correct. It's going to go shooting straight, punching straight down through, and it's going to sit there. And if you jig it a little bit, it'll keep the plastic bait above all that mess on the bottom, all the mud and debris. Because otherwise, if you had this jig on there, the jig would bury itself instead of the weight burying in there. It buries the whole jig in there.
So technically, so realistically, we think that this is, let me do this. Let's pretend this is the bottom here.
Right.
Can you get in there? So now the weight hits, but because air is in the plastic, this is suspending like this.
Correct.
Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, and because you're pulling from right here, this will come up and come back down and come up and come back down.
Like
and
this.
Exactly. And all he'll see is that little bait, and he'll come and grab this, and he doesn't grab the weight. And even if he does, it'll fold back.
What I really like, Dave, is how you reverse the two bullet weights to make it more weedless.
Correct. When you got them reversed like that, it punches in real good, and when you pull it out, it pulls out.
It's pulling out.
Yeah, and you know these are what they look like when you're in the package. You know, you see the two hooks and the long metal bar on it.
And the instructions on how to rig on the back.
Correct. And all you do is once you put your weight on, you just bend over the little piece of wire at the bottom, and it holds it in place. Now, it might be hard to get these because right now these VMC rigs or these Tokyo rigs are really hot, and even it was hard for me to get a hold of them. But I figured, well, maybe I could make one.
Yeah.
And I did. I went out and I got me some number 10 wire. I figured out a wire that's pretty comparable to the dropper on there.
Right.
The only thing is I won't have the little swivel at the top that'll keep that from swiveling. But it doesn't. I don't think it'll matter.
You put in a ring here, which is going to still give you.
Correct. I got a little fancy, and I put an oval ring. VMC uses a circle ring, and now I know why. I think you have to have the oval ring, I wouldn't use the oval ring like I've got on there. I would use a round one because it allows better freedom of movement. The oval has a couple
Dave?
straight spots in it.
I wish we had more time. Brie, I wish we had
Arts
more time
and crafts
as well.
with Dave Ferrell.
Arts and crafts.
I love it. So awesome.